Hello students and welcome to Standard 9th Mathematics 1 digital class. Today we will begin with the next chapter, chapter 4, ratio and proportion. Now students, you have learned ratio and proportion in the previous years. So let's recall it. With an example, the rava laddu prepared by Vimal are tasty, for which she takes 1 bowl of ghee, 3 bowls of rava and 2 bowls of sugar. Now here proportion of rava and sugar is 3 is to 2 as she takes 3 bowls of rava and 2 bowls of sugar, or we can write it as 3 upon 2. Now if 12 units of rava is used, then how many units of sugar will be required? So let's find out. Let the number of bowls of sugar required be x. From the above information, we get 3 upon 2, that is the ratio of number of bowls of rava to number of bowls of sugar, equals to 12 upon x. After cross multiplication, we will get 3x equals to 24. Therefore, x equals to 8. That is, for preparation of laddu with 12 units of rava, it will require 8 units of sugar. Okay. Direct proportion. Now this topic was also done last year. So let's see an example. Suppose a car covers a distance of 10 km after consuming 1 liter of petrol. So it will cover a distance of 20 multiplied by 10, that is 200 km, consuming 20 liter of petrol. Similarly, after consuming 40 liter of petrol, it will cover a distance of 40 multiplied by 10 equals to 400 km. Now let's see the table where all the values are inserted. Now here the first column we have petrol x liter, distance y kilometer, and the ratio x upon y will find out for each of the values. Now here in 1 liter of petrol, the distance travelled or covered is 10 kilometer. Okay, so x upon y will be 1 upon 10. Now similarly, for 20 liter petrol, in 20 liter petrol, distance travelled by the car was 200 km. So therefore the ratio x upon y will be 20 upon 200, which is equal to 1 upon 10. Now after consuming 40 liter petrol, the car travelled 400 km. So therefore the ratio will be 40 upon 400, which is equal to 1 upon 10. Now here you can see x upon y is equal to 1 by 10 is constant, right? And hence the ratio of consumption of petrol and distance travelled by the car is a constant. In such cases, it is said that the two quantities are in direct proportion or in direct variation. Now let's see inverse proportion with an example. Suppose a car takes 2 hours to cover a distance of 100 km at the speed of 50 km per hour. A bullock cart travels 5 km in 1 hour. To cover a distance of 100 km at the speed of 5 km per hour, the bullock cart takes 20 hours. So we know that speed multiplied by time is equal to distance. Now again we'll write all the information in the table. So here we are having a table. So vehicle, we have car and bullock cart. Speed of car is 50 km per hour. speed of bullock cart is 5 km per hour. Time taken by car to cover the distance is 2 hours and the time taken by bullock cart is 20 hours. Okay, so now let's find it out for car. So x multiplied by y, or x denotes the speed and y denotes time. So x multiplied by y is 50 multiplied by 2, which is 100. Okay. Similarly, for bullock cart, speed is 5 km per hour and time is 20. So x multiplied by y, that is speed multiplied by time, which is equal to 5 multiplied by 20 equals to 100. Now here you can see that x multiplied by y is constant. Hence, we see that the product of speed of the vehicle and time is constant. In such a case, it is said that the quantities are in inverse proportion or in inverse variation. Now, what are the quantities here? Here the quantities are speed and time. So, we can say speed and time are in inverse proportion or in inverse variation. Now, let's see the properties of ratio. First property, ratio of numbers A and B is written as A is to B or A by B. Here A is called predecessor, that is the first term, and B is called successor, that is the second term. Second point, in the ratio of two numbers, if the second term is 100, then it is known as a percentage. Third, the ratio remains unchanged if its terms are multiplied or divided by non-zero number. For example, 3:4 is equal to 6:8. That is, if we multiply both 3 and 4 by 2, we will get 6:8. And if we multiply 3:4 by 3, then we will get 9:12. And all these three ratios are equal. Similarly, 2:3:5 is equal to 8:12:20. Now, if k is a non-zero number, then a is to b is equal to ak is to bk. Similarly, a is to b is to c is equal to ak is to bk is to ck. Fourth one, the quantities taken in the ratio must be expressed in the same unit. The ratio of two quantities is always unitless. For example, the ratio of 2 kg and 300 gram is not 2:300, but it is 2000:300 because 2 kg is equal to 2000 grams. Whenever we take ratio, both the quantities should be in the same unit. So we can convert 2 kg into grams, that is 2000 grams. Now we can reduce 2000:300 and the answer will be 20:3. Now this was the introduction for ratio. Okay, I hope you have understood the concept. Thank you.